Montana Love, Steve Spark. Steve Spark made it a tough competitive fight, and Montana kind of like pushed him over the top rope with some Royal Rumble shit.
Yeah, he was.
What was your thoughts?
First thing is, Montana Love, I felt like I get fighting at home and putting on a show. I get that part, but it was like he was like a little too overwhelmed with it. Like he was more so worried about looking good and putting on a great show, and got in there and didn't expect that boy to go at him the way he did. The boy was trying to get him the fuck out of there. He was Spark was trying to knock him out. And he landed some good shots. Love landed some good shots. It was a little bit of back and forth, but you could kind of see the strength, the difference in strength. You know what I'm saying? He was really trying to hurt Montana Love. Montana Love was trying to look good, and I feel like he got caught up in that. And then in the sixth round when they headbutted each other, it was a nasty cut over top of his left eye, and I felt like he wanted to continue, but he was like that cut fucked him up. I mean, it fucked up his mental. And it was like, all right, I want to fight, but it's like, damn, I gotta get myself together. His head was still spinning a little bit off that shit. And it was like, all right, I want to get back, but I mean, I don't feel too good. Then, soon as the ref let them back at each other, the boy Spark went right at him again. You know what I mean, real crazy. They got into the crazy clinch. And again, I felt like he ain't like, you know what I mean, how strong Spark was, and then he was trying to let him know how strong he was. You know what I mean, he got into the crazy forearm, but then he pushed him over the top rope. Spark did some Spider-Man shit, landed on his feet, jumped back in the ring. The bell was already ringing. He was already stopping the fight.
I want to give Spark props for landing on his feet.
No, we give this boy a lot of props, man. He came out of nowhere and made that happen. You know what I mean? He won by, you know, some disqualification shit, which is corny, but at the same time, you can't blame him because he was trying to fight. He was trying to do his job. Do I think the ref should have let the fight continue? Yeah, but should have Montana Love been penalized a little bit? Yeah, he should have got a point taken away, but not disqualified, because he didn't like slam him down there. He just was, you know, because the rope bent and all that, so he fell over the rope. You know what I mean? But he did push him, but I'm just saying he didn't injure him, so he landed on his feet. You know what I mean? So they should have let it go down, but they should have took a point away from him. Even 2 points, but don't stop the fight. They stopped the fight. That was kind of crazy. You know what I mean?
Was this a classic case of a dude underestimating an unnamed opponent or a not-so-known opponent?
Exactly. That's what I felt like, you know what I mean? Because this whole Montana Love was trying to become a star that night. You know what I mean? Why am I saying that? Because he had a drill team waiting on him when he came out the first entrance where everybody could see him. He had a drill team waiting on him. Had the girls dressed up, dancing. He dressed like Michael Jackson. It was just a lot going on. It was a lot going on, a lot of energy. The energy's all over the place. So the last thing he was worried about was Spark. But Spark needed to be the only thing on his mind. Because Spark was on his ass. Spark wasn't playing with him. So, you know what I mean? It ended in a fucked up way. But I don't know. See what happens.
He was also arguing with Richardson Hitchens.
Richardson Hitchens, that's what I'm saying. Just his energy. Listen, man, I get it that y'all trying to build the fight or whatever. But you shouldn't even be worried about him. You're not fighting him. You're not fighting him. So to me, this was a small setback for Montana Love, but I mean, he might need to get the rematch and get the rematch outside of his city. Don't fight in his city, but that's what they want to do. They want to make him a hometown hero. So I don't know, man. That was tough to watch though, because I'm like, damn, they should at least let the fight continue.
Who did you have up?
I had Spark up, man. Spark was putting that pressure on that fool. He was coming to fight. He was coming in. He was trying to do damage. Love was, like I said, he was landing some counter punches. You know what I mean? But I just seen it where it looked like he was going to get overwhelmed at some point.
I feel like a lot of people underestimated Spark because you look at his record, he was 15-2, but he had 14 knockouts.
Yeah.
And one of his losses was against Tim Tszyu at 54. So I think he took that as a bread fight as opposed, because he fights at 40.
But listen, when it's early in your career, sometimes you make mistakes like that, because in the amateurs you might be like, well, I was a 52-pounder in the amateurs, but a lot of 52-pounders go down to 47. He probably was like fighting at 65 or some shit and brought it down to 54, and then realized like, damn, I could drop more weight. We don't really know the story. Like you say, might have took it for the money on some short notice shit. But when I first heard about the opponent, Spark, and I heard that one of his real losses was to Tim Tszyu, I'm like, well, Tim Tszyu is a 54-pounder. This fight at 40, so he's gonna definitely be in way better shape. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I I don't know. This might be a tough draw for Montana Love. And I never heard of this guy, but obviously he was. I mean, he came to fight. He wasn't shook up by nothing. I mean, he was trying to do damage.
Some people have felt, and I saw this online, that after the cut, Montana was looking for a way out.
I mean, it could have been. That's a possibility because remember, he too pretty. So to get cut, that was against his whole thing. Like that's against everything that he believed in. Getting cut and getting lumped up and all that shit. So it probably was already fucking with him, man. And plus, like I said, fighting at home is a major thing, especially when you bring the whole city out. He had a lot of fucking people there, man.
Yeah, that shit was in the Cavs arena, so it was a big deal.
Yeah, the atmosphere was crazy. So, you know what I'm saying? The pressure. So everybody can't handle that pressure, man. And then and that underestimating shit, man, y'all gotta stop that because dudes out here trying to feed their families, man. They'll kill you, man. They'll leave you in that ring, man. A motherfucker will leave you in that ring if they can. On their best shit, they gonna leave you.
Steve Spark made me a fan. It's like, damn.
But that's what I'm saying. Now we know Steve Spark because he wasn't fucking around. He came to get some respect and get some money.
I definitely want to see that again.
Yeah.
I
say do it again, but don't do it in his hometown. I'm telling you. Don't do it in his hometown. It's too much pressure. You don't just have, see, when you fight at home, you don't just have fans. You got the motherfuckers that you got to see all the time because you came up with them. So your friends, your haters, growing up, the niggas that bullied you in school, the motherfuckers you bullied, the motherfucking teachers, everybody that you know, the guys you played basketball against, and whoever, like everybody's here. If they not here, they paying attention. They watching on the zone. Telling you, that shit is major. Not everybody can handle fighting at home.
Who do you favor in the rematch?
If Montana come back out like that, I gotta go with the boy Spark. Spark, hungry dog. And he bigger than he looked. Like, when you first look at him on, at the weigh-ins and shit, he ain't look that big, but then we see him in the ring, letting the shit go. He kind of big dude. He kind of big for 140.
And I heard Spark.
Long arms.
Afterwards, Spark talking about, we can do a rematch if it makes sense. And I don't know what that means.
He want to get paid.
I don't know what that means.
He want to get paid. He wants some money.
Yeah.
He's not playing.
Yo, would you take a chance like that? Cross country in somebody's hometown, bring the fight? Hey.
Listen, Devin Haney just went over there. He came over here. Hey, yo, make something happen.
Yeah.
You want to get paid.